Absolutely. I shall come in my conclusion to talk a little bit about that and how we've got to reset, but my right honourable friend makes a good point. And secondly, why do we want to avoid no deal? I won't repeat all the things that my right honourable friend said that are obvious, and the economics are clear, but for me there's three things. Firstly, the threat to the Union. I'm a Scot. My mother and father from Scotland. I'm a proud Scot. I'm British through and through. I couldn't believe a poll of Conservative members recently that said they'd abandon almost anything, including the Union, providing they left the EU. I regard that as a terrible threat. We should not risk it. Secondly, Ireland. Ireland, treated by some here as some sort of irrelevance, a place to where they have made up the border issue in order to prevent us leaving the EU. With our history in relation to Ireland, everything that happened there, they became our best friends in the European Union. And our choice to leave, our Brexit, has put them in the most catastrophic situation of any country, and we now expect them to accept another English demand that they should do something. Have we no understanding of what that relationship means and the damage done? And thirdly, the damage to Europe and the relationship with Europe itself. I grew up as the first generation to avoid war in Europe for countless hundreds of years. I arrived in the House of Commons when there were giants. Dennis Healey, Willie Whitelaw, Ted Heath, people for whom Europe was the place where they and their friends had fought and died, and they wanted something different. And that has always motivated me in my sense of Europe. And whether we are in the European Union or not, that relationship with Europe is clouded by the sort of language that the Right Honourable Lady has mentioned. I don't want to see that threatened by a no deal. And lastly,
his second intervention.
Just a moment. I've listened to the Right Honourable Gentleman involuntarily for most of the years I've been here. Most. Not all, because I went to campaign for him in his by-election, I think, of 1984. I've no wish to hear from him voluntarily. Let me go on. Thirdly, and in conclusion, let me end where I began, as the independent member for North East Bedfordshire. I don't complain at the removal of the whip. Voting on an issue of confidence, I accept the rules. But to my colleagues here, just think of how this looks. This morning, the Conservative Party lost Ruth Davison last week. George Young in the House of Lords resigned as the whip. And my right honourable friends from Rushcliffe, from Runnymede and Weybridge, who made the economy we were cheering just a few minutes ago. What are people going to think about what we have left and what we have lost? Some will have been very happy at the fact that some have been purged. A few weeks ago, one of our colleagues retweeted an article in the Daily Telegraph that looked forward to the purging of Remoaners in the Conservative Party. That was disgraceful. And I say to my colleagues, if we are being purged now, who's next? Who's next? Watch a film called Good Night and Good Luck, and you'll take my point. This may be the last substantive speech I make here, as I'm not standing again, and who knows when the election will come. I will leave with the best of memories of this place, of friends and colleagues on all sides. The obsession of my party has developed may have sought to devalue my past as a friend of the EU, of our sister centre-right parties and many friends, and it may have curtailed my future, but it will not rob me of what I believe, and I will walk out of here looking up at the sky, not down at my shoes.
Order. Thank you. Order. Colleagues, made the speech Jane Dodds.